The questions that are on everybody's minds these days: will Donald Trump run for a second term as president? And if so, can he defeat his Democratic opponent? One of the former president's top advisors, Peter Navarro, thinks he has the answers. In his forthcoming book entitled Taking Back Trump's America: Why We Lost the White House and How We'll Win It Back, Peter examines what went wrong in Trump's first term and how he can ultimately take back the White House in 2024. Joining me now to discuss, former Director of Trade and Manufacturing Policy for President Trump, Peter Navarro. Peter, good to see you.
Truly great to be with you again, sir. And yes, he's going to run. In the Taking Back Trump's America book really is a blueprint and battle cry for the whole MAGA movement, not just to take back the White House for Trump in 2024, but importantly to also grab that House of Representatives from the clutches of Nancy Pelosi. Back in 2018, one of the mistakes we made that I document in the Taking Back Trump's America book was to focus too narrowly on the Senate races in the midterm elections. We could have held on to the House of Representatives in 2018, but there was a couple of people inside the White House who screwed that up, to be honest. And the hell we would pay for that single mistake would be massive, because once you put the House in charge of Pelosi and Schiff and little Jamie Raskin, they unleashed several discredited impeachment trials and all manner of weaponized investigations for partisan ends, which the president obviously didn't get successfully impeached. But I think but the drip, drip, drip of the water torture from those bastards, and I call them that with all due affection, took its toll. So we've got to get the House back in 2022. I'm really focused on that now. Do it with Trump Republicans, not just Republicans. And then, there's no question in my mind that the boss runs. He hasn't told me that. But he'd win if he run, and he knows what to do, and this nation needs him, because God knows the Democrats are doing every single thing wrong.
Peter, I know in the book you lay out what you think would be a dream Trump cabinet for term two. You've got, for example, former Trump National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien becomes Secretary of State. Ben Carson runs HHS. Lighthizer goes over to Commerce. Kash Patel, friend of mine, friend of the show, becomes DNI. John Ratcliffe becomes CIA Director. Ken Cuccinelli returns as head of Homeland Security. So some very good folks in there. I got to ask, do you think that the former President Trump now recognizes that there were some pretty big mistakes made in the first term in terms of personnel, especially given that there are people that have now made careers who were senior officials trashing the man they went to work for?
Yeah, the quick answer is yes. The more textured answer, if you go back to the Reagan years, Buck, there was this thing, personnel is policy. And Reagan wanted to make sure that he got the right people in there so he'd have his Reagan-esque policies. In the Taking Back Trump's America book, I refine that bad personnel is not just bad policy, but bad politics. And if you go back and look at all the mistakes that were made, the president is well aware that there were a lot of people in there that shouldn't have been and did him damage. I mean, look, just all the people he had to fire, whether it was Rex Tillerson at State, Jim Mattis at the Defense Department. But the two people that I really feel ultimately did the most damage to the boss were two people who stayed on and should never darken the boss's door again. And that would have been Steve Mnuchin at the Treasury Department, who completely undermined our tough on China policy at the same time that he bobbled the ball up on Capitol Hill. And then Jared Kushner, who